So a lot of you might have heard that the governor of California has signed three Senate bills, the SB9, SB10, and SB8. And what are these three bills and what does that mean for the California housing market? So this is something that I will be sharing with you what I think. So let's dive in. My name is Bojie. I'm a local California Bay Area real estate agent. And today I want to help you understand a little bit about what's going on here with the SB9, 10, and 8, and what is the impact in California's housing market. So just to be short, I'm going to put a link in description about each bill's content so you can read about them. But basically what they're doing is that they're rezoning. These are rezoning laws. And what they're doing is they're basically allowing multifamily projects taking place in single family neighborhood. And in urban dense or transit areas, you can build up to like 10 units. And also a lot of these zonings, which takes years to complete in the state of California, now gets shortened. All they're doing is as a way to encourage more multifamily dwellings in the state of California, as a way to handle the housing crisis here in the state. So a lot of people are wondering, what does that mean for the local housing market here in California? Well, first of all, SB 9, 10, and 8 are statewide guidelines. And what that means is that when it comes down to each city in California, the requirement will be more specific, and we don't know what each city's guideline will be just yet. So in other words, it's still too early to judge. But I know a lot of you are still asking me questions like, hey, what would happen to California's housing values just because of these Senate bills? Are home values going to decrease because now we have more homes on the market available? And a lot of people are going to be leaving California because the single family home lifestyle that they used to know no longer exists. These are valid concerns. And here's are a few things that I would consider before jumping to a conclusion. So number one, realize that not all of the properties will meet the requirement for the rezoning developments. So say SB9 says, if you have a single family home in a single family home neighborhood, if your lot is big enough, you can divide them into two lots, and each lot you can build two duplexes. So turning one single family home into pretty much like two duplexes on each side, so 4 buildings. But not every property, if it comes down to the development of such a project, number one, a lot of the properties or the lot are not going to meet the actual requirements. Some of the lots are going to be on the hill. Some of the lot size, some of the lot shapes are going to be, not a regular shape, rectangular, or, some are going to be triangle or a pie shape. And also when it comes to the actual development, there's a lot going into meeting the requirement. Just like ADU, the proposition of ADU had become a thing in the last couple of years. But I can tell you, like, a lot of the properties, even though they're at the right size, they're in the right location, but they can't build an ADU. There's water, electrical, and plumbing, power lines. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, and there are easements that you have to research on. So just by saying that, it does not automatically mean every property is going to qualify for such a rezoning development. Number two, there is a owner occupancy requirements too. That kind of makes not every homeowner is actually going to want to do something like that because of that requirement. And number three, which is, in my opinion, the most important factor, is not every family, not every homeowner in the state of California actually has the means and the time and the expertise to go through such a project. Most people, in the state of California, like homeowners, are just regular people. And to turn a single family lot into two lot and then again turning them into like multi-family housing, to me, that's more of what real estate developers and investors would do. You know, you're gonna have to look into a lot of the costs, the time, and then also like logistics of having gone through such a project. If you're already living in this property, you have reasons to continue to live in this property, in this neighborhood. You meet the owner occupancy requirement, but at the same time, for you to develop a project like this, there's a lot of logistic concerns besides the money and the time and all that pouring into such a project. So my conclusion is that it is too early to tell what impact it's going to have on California housing. But I strongly believe that multifamily building, like in single family neighborhood, it's not going to become a thing, at least in the near future. All reasons are above mentioned reasons. And the impact on California housing market solely based on these three Senate bills, in my opinion, are very limited in the near future. But if you are an investor or homeowners who would like to take on a project like this, I would suggest that you check in with your local city guidelines. I know a lot of the cities don't even have those yet. But they will come out, specific guidelines. I would suggest that you check on those to see what your city actually would require you to do. Well, comment down below and let me know what you think about these bills. Do you like more multifamily homes in single-family neighborhoods? And what do you think about the California housing market is going from these three bills? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys next time.